Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So, when I first started my channel back in 2019, December 15th, 2019, I didn't expect my first video was going to be about discussing a virus that has just ravaged the entire world. With that being said, I've noticed a lot of conspiracy theories pop up, specifically Bill Gates and the 5G network. Now, I by no means have any political say in this whole matter. I'm not political when it comes to the coronavirus. But it seems to me that we're really bored right now. Before I get into anything else, I want to discuss my own experience with the C virus. I'm going to call it the C virus because I don't want YouTube's algorithm to bear my video. So from now on, it's the C virus. So I first got symptoms around March 12th. The first symptoms were basically cold sweats and a fever that night. Next morning, I woke up with a dry cough and a slight sore throat. It wasn't a bad sore throat or anything, it was just a slight sore throat. So later that same day, I had a lot of fatigue and a lot of drowsiness. I think I went to bed 2 or 3 times that day. And later on that evening, I had another fever that lasted around, I'd say around 2 hours. So day 2 started off with the same amount of intensity as far as coughing is concerned. But then I also had like a slight uneasiness in my lungs that I felt, I think was due more so to panic setting in, which also contributed to a little bit of a breathing difficulty. So I think that's one of the worst things about this illness is that you get this sort of panic of not knowing if you're going to be a mild case or a bad case. And I think it happens between day 1 through 8. So that night, as I'm trying to go to bed, it felt like my lungs were working slightly harder to inflate. And I started panicking again. And this is what you need to do when you start panicking, especially when you have it, is to tell yourself that you're a mild case. You're not a bad case. You're a mild case, and don't watch any news. Don't look at that website with all the deaths. Don't do any of that because that's just going to increase your panicking. And that's what helped me is just not to look at the news basically, and tell yourself you're going to be better. That's convince yourself you're going to be better. Mind over matter. On the 4th day, I woke up with some pain under my chin. The shortness of breath increased a little bit, and there was also a pain in my left lung. But the fatigue was gone. I didn't have any fever in the daytime. Now, as the day progressed to the evening time, I started developing a fever and also a slight panic because now, this is the normal routine now is for this thing to act up during the evening time. So I got some vitamins. I took some different things, whatever. I took NyQuil. NyQuil was a lifesaver during this whole thing. I drank up probably a whole bottle. This is not medical advice, by the way, but just drink NyQuil whenever you feel your symptoms like the coughing increasing because it helps sleep. It helped me sleep anyway. So I took NyQuil and then I started elevating myself in the bed so that I wouldn't develop pneumonia. That's one of the things that they do in hospital for the patients is to elevate them in their bed so they don't have hospital-induced pneumonia. Later that night, I got a fever and I went to bed. So the next morning, I woke up and I coughed up some mucus, which was interesting. That was the first time I coughed up mucus, but I didn't have because I've had pneumonias 2 or 3 times in my life, so I know what it feels like. I didn't have the rattling in the lungs, and I didn't feel the vibrations, the little vibrations when you have it. So I didn't have any of that. I just had the pain and I had the some mucus. So on day 5, I woke up and I had increased difficulty breathing, and the chest pains had gotten worse. However, everything else was gone. I don't know if that was psychological, knowing the fact that days 5 through 8 are the worst days on average, and I somehow mentally induced myself to be worse on the 5th day, or if that was actually what was happening. But I would say that what was interesting about day 5 was that as the day wore on, the symptoms got better. They didn't get worse, which was different from the 4 days prior. Day 6, I woke up expecting to actually feel worse, and I didn't actually feel better. And as the day progressed, I got better, and my anxiety started going away. Day 7, I felt better than day 6, and then day 8, I got tested. So I'm about to get tested for the coronavirus. Here we go.
Okay, roll the window back up and follow the cones out, okay?
You do that in hospital too?
Oh, shit.
That's one? Appreciate it, man. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Woo! After getting tested, it basically dislodged all of the mucus back there. So I felt everything drain, just drain down into my throat constantly, just constant drainage. And it actually made my symptoms worse again. So for me, I'm not saying don't go get tested, but for me, it made my symptoms worse again. So, that night, I had a ton of mucus drainage. I had a slight fever again, some coughing, came back more aggressive, and the shortness of breath was a little bit worse, but the pain wasn't bad. Day 9, daytime, symptoms weren't too bad. The night, however, shortness of breath returned. The wheezing, slight wheezing returned. Nothing too serious. Then day 10, 11, just coughing, basically, nothing crazy. Then day 12, it came back with a vengeance. For some reason, it came back really bad on day 12. I think that was as bad as day 5. After day 12, however, it was gone. Like, it was just gone. So it took about 2 weeks for the symptoms to disappear, basically. Right now, I still have some coughing from it, and I still have a slight uneasiness in my left lung that when I breathe in, it hurts a little bit. But other than that, so after waiting 9 to 10 days for these test results, yes, they took that long. I tested negative. I was dumbfounded. Then I looked it up, and these tests actually have a false negative of 1 out of 3. So 1 out of 3 tests will show up as negative when it's actually positive. That didn't really give me much comfort because now I didn't know if I had it or not. At least if it had tested positive, I could then figure out if I had antibodies and I was somehow immune to it. Then I looked that up, and apparently people can actually get it twice, because if you don't get enough antibodies the first time, you can actually get it again. So there's a lot, and I'll put a link to a lot of different articles that I have. So what kind of got me was, like, some people think that the virus itself isn't real. Like, it's fake. Everyone's faking it. That's not real. It's like, come on, guys, come on. Okay, you're at home right now. You're not at work. You have time. You actually have time. This is your time to actually shine and do what you wanted to always do. Either to lose weight, to figure out a plan to lose weight, to work out, to make money, make multiple streams of income. Plan, because this should wake up a lot of people. Because, a lot of people didn't know that this was going to happen, obviously. And they've been kind of like living paycheck to paycheck. So this now gives people opportunity to reevaluate their finances, reevaluate how they're going to prepare for the next pandemic or disaster. Knock on wood, hopefully nothing this bad happens again. And this is what they're not telling you. This is what the media is silent about, is being reliant on yourself, being in control of yourself, being the boss of yourself, not having to worry about a paycheck from anybody else. Even if you're inside of a box, imagine that there is no box. Okay, you don't have to think outside of the box anymore, because there is no box. Okay, you think you're inside of a box, but it doesn't exist. I know you'll accomplish this. I have faith in you. I know you'll get this done. And if there's one good thing that did come out of all of this, is the fact that the road and the beach construction is getting done finally. And on top of that, the gas prices are the lowest they've been in about 20 years. Now, with the economy and the job situation, will people have jobs to go back to? that's a whole nother story. So people need to start thinking ahead and planning like what they're going to do. It's not looking too good out there right now. I can tell you that much. Some industries are gonna hurt more than others, obviously. Tourist industry, travel industries. So with all that being said, I don't want to make this video too long, but just this is my advice. Take it with a grain of salt. And I know it might be a little hard to do for some people, but block out the conspiracy theories, okay? And it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't take a hold of your life, your day-to-day existence. What should take a hold of your life is what are you going to do during this time period to better your life? Whether it's health, wealth, body, mindset, whatever it is, make sure you learn something. Make sure you learn how to make money trading stocks. Make sure you know how to, maybe figure out Amazon FBA, something on the side, affiliate marketing, go work out, get built, get your abs. Do something that will better your life after all of this is said and done. Hey guys, if you like this video, click subscribe and like the video. And when you put out multiple videos teaching people how to build different streams of income, helping them learn how to, edit videos. Obviously, this is not my best video. It's my first video. I'm going to get better equipment and learn different techniques. And I'm going to help people learn how to market themselves, build their brand, show you basically from start to finish how I became an entrepreneur, how I built myself up and where I'm at today. And, in the future videos where I'm going to be at. So if you're interested in any of that, go ahead and stay.